We're going to make something Christmassy with duck.
By getting it drunk on mulled wine.
Mulled wine might be associated with carol singing, but today we're going to apply it to duck. So we're going to mull some wine with some red currant, some spices, some citrus, obviously simmer it down in the red wine itself, and use that to cover our duck, which we're also going to serve with some Brussels sprouts in a slightly different way.
Sounds great.
We'll start off with some citrus for our mulled wine. So if one of you can zest both of those onto the board, and Barry, you can splash everything else into a small pan. So that's a glass of red wine.
Red wine, not mulled wine.
We're going to mull it. Okay, so this is just, in fact we're going to do a bit more than mull. Mull is warm. We're actually going to simmer this and make kind of almost a syrup. Okay. So a little bit further, but if you can pop that into our pan, the small one. You don't have to worry about a good quality wine for this because I'm going to add so many flavours to it, it's not a problem. First flavour, some red currant jelly, about 2 tablespoons of that.
Delish.
Now for the spices, here we've got a couple of cloves which look like that, about sort of 3 or 4 of those, and a pinch of our allspice.
I love Christmas.
Cinnamon stick, that can go in there as well. And because we're making a really sort of sticky syrup, a lot of sugar. Okay, so that's all going to go in there as well. Are you done with that?
Yeah.
Good.
Would you like it?
Barry, can you juice it into our pan? Bog standard, we've all seen mashed potato before. That's what we're going to do here. So I'm just peeling some potatoes. I'm going to put all of your citrus in there as well. And then Mike, can you cut up our potatoes? So I peeled them for you. If you can just hack them up into quite big chunks. That's all of our ingredients into our mulled wine. Now it's bubbling rapidly. We can leave it to do that for about 10 minutes to melt all those sugars and bring all the flavours together. And all your spuds can go into this cold water. And then we can go to the next stage of our meat and 2 veg, and that's the veg.
Yep.
Okay?
I can see you cringing now because these are Brussels sprouts.
Why? I love Brussels sprouts.
No, not you, these guys.
Oh.
Because I love them.
I don't like them, so how are you going to make me want to eat them?
I'm going to disguise them. Okay, so what we're going to do is basically, you can either just take a knife and shred them up really, really small, like that, or if you've got a grater, then this will do the very same thing.
That's still going to taste the same.
Push down and plunge these into the grater. And what you end up with is rather a pocket of what is quite an intense flavour of sprout, which is what people sometimes don't like.
A pocket of farts, I've described them.
Pocket of fart. Well, that's the after effect often. We're going to shred it up so you've got much more surface area, you can fry it off and you get a much sort of sweeter, softer flavour. And then if we take it off, get rid of the grater, and we've got a fantastic sort of Brussels sprout that's all shredded up and good to go. We need that for later on. Meanwhile, we can look at our duck. Now, 2 duck breasts. All I want you to do, Mike, is slightly sort of score them because the skin renders if it's got scores in it. So if I do one, if you can just do the other. So at this point, the duck breast goes into a cold pan, skin side down. Okay, and the same with the one you've done, Mike. And what we want to be careful of, you're a little bit heavy-handed there. It's a bit deep. You just want to cut through the skin, not the flesh. It's all right. It's not the end of the world. But that's going to go in there as well.
Christmas is ruined.
So why a cold pan?
A cold pan helps to render it. So rather than crisp it up and burn it before it's had a chance to cut all the way through that fat, you heat it up slowly. Fat dribbles out. It's why it's a dry pan and then goes crispy. So a low heat that will bring that up to boil. You can salt and pepper those. And that's pretty much everything there. So our potatoes are boiling. They need another 10-15 minutes. Our syrup is reducing. Same again, another 5 minutes or so. And our duck breast, 5 minutes on that side. Then we'll flip them over. After just a few minutes, if we turn the duck over, you've now got that lovely crispy skin. Remember, it went into a dry pan.
Yeah.
Look how much fat has come out now.
That's all fat.
That's all duck fat out of the skin, which is what enables the skin to go crispy. So we'll get rid of that, turn them over, and then add our mulled wine. Now this is really sticky at this point.
Dash that in.
Splash that all in there.
Yum!
And then, if you can pop that into an oven, it's 180 degrees Celsius and it needs 10 minutes. To cook our Brussels, we add a knob of butter into a pan. All of those shredded Brussels sprouts go in there. Now it smells, I know what you mean, it does smell a bit cabbagey and a bit farty at the moment, but it gets amazingly good. We need to season it up well. Then they'll take sort of 5 or 10 minutes to just fry off. We can drain our potatoes, give them a mash, and then the whole dish forms itself into one. All the parts now ready, we can start to carve our duck, which has had a couple of minutes to rest. You guys can put the Brussels on one side, the mash on the other. There we go, our duck sits on top of there. And plenty of those juices, hot pan, remember, straight out the oven. We can dribble some of those over there. That's what the mash is there for, to absorb all of that dribble.
Oh man.
Like so. Now, what is left of that mulled wine spice, you can chill down, and it sets up like a really kind of sticky jelly. A little bit of that you can serve on there as well.
You chuck that in the fridge and it comes out like that?
Yep, what's left, so that can go there. People can have as much or as little of that as they like. But otherwise, that's all the parts we need for our mulled wine duck sorted.
can't
Oh
we?
wow. I can't tell if the sprouts or the sauce, but that is intense. Mike, what do you think? Well, you're still alive.
That's really nice.
Do you want to say it with a more impressed face? Or?
No, it's lovely.
Best thing about this dish, you haven't got to wait till Christmas because you can have it all year round.
You can indeed. Like our website works all year round with plenty of recipes to choose from.